It's your girl Deshayla, and welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos where I give you advice on healing and self-help things and just overall improvement and betterment of your life and your lifestyle. I thank you all for joining me on this journey. I am also improving myself by creating these videos. So if you like my videos or love the content that I push out, please like and subscribe to my videos and subscribe to this YouTube channel, so that you can know when I upload a video, and by you liking this is allowing other people to get a chance to see my video as well. So help us out and go ahead and like this video. So today I want to get into how do you know you're healed or healing? Like, what does that look like for you as an individual? Now here, I just always go off my personal experiences and in hopes that it can just relate to the person who's watching it and give you some idea of if you are on the right track and just giving you that confirmation you are probably seeking to know if you are healing and stuff. So as usual, if you see me looking down, it's because I wrote notes for you guys to be able to give you some pointers. So first and foremost, ways I know I've healed. I'm just gonna give you a small background very quickly of things I've been through. I've been through a lot as a child. I had a lot of childhood trauma. I've been through every form of abuse you can think of. I was picked on a lot. I was the stinky girl in the classroom who I talked about. Grew up in poverty. Did not have a lot. Saw a lot of traumatic things, from abuse on my mother to the person who would abuse my mama abusing me, sexually. I should have said trigger warning at the beginning, so I apologize for that. I'm not going to get into detail about this stuff. However, I had a very, very terrible childhood, and it caused me to be a very angry individual, very trauma-filled, very codependent, a lot of anxiety, depression, controlling, just a people pleaser, low self-esteem, pretty much everything that you can possibly think of. I had those feelings in the inside of me. Yeah, so I lived a very rough life, and at some point I was exuding that. That was my identity. So now let's get into ways that I know that I was a healed individual and continue to heal. First and foremost, I do not look like what I have been through. When people meet me, they meet this kind, very, big personality, very caring, very empathetic, very, all of that stuff. So I don't look like what I've been through, and I don't put that out there. And I can say that now and be okay with it, because at some point I used to get frustrated that people thought I never been through anything, and it will frustrate someone who's been through everything, and it's like, you've never been through nothing, or I would take offense to that at some point, because I'm like, I used to get abused by a grown man. My mama was abusive to me a lot through my life. And that's a video I would definitely make later on, because me and my mom have a wonderful relationship now because of healing. Like, we were poor. I'm like, what do you mean? I've been through a lot of things. Like, how dare y'all? I used to get offended by that. However, throughout my healing journey, I began to understand and appreciate within myself Well, DeShayla, you don't look like you've been through anything because you actually done the work. You see, when you do the work and you really make the choice to work on yourself, you're not going to look like your trauma. It's no longer going to be your identity. You're going to become in touch and start putting out there who you truly are. Those things will still be there. There will be layers into making you who you are. However, we do have a choice. And for me, I chose to look within myself and do the work so that I don't look like I've been through anything. If you meet me, you probably think I had a great childhood. I did not, by any means necessary. And I used to take offense to that. Like, I'm not one of these, I couldn't ask my mama for anything, or I had to figure out life. I had to grow up really quickly. I've always been taking care of people around me since I was a little girl. So, I used to take offense to that type of stuff. Now, and I had to accept and be proud of the fact that, well, DeShayla, people don't know that about you because you've done the work. You've healed. You're no longer your identity of trauma. I remember one year when something happened when I was married. Our car got repoed, and it was a lot going on at that moment a couple of years ago. And I remember saying, I always experience trauma. Why does things always happen to me? Why does something always happen to me? Because that was my identity. And that is what I could relate to. But down the line, with other things happening that I felt that was, more trauma inflicted on me, divorce and all of that stuff. But I sat with myself and I really began to do the work on myself. I changed my identity around. I no longer experience trauma. That is my past. I'm a person who's been through things, and when things come up, I know how to handle it. And that's going into my next point of how to know when I was healed and I was doing the work and healing, is that people tend to think, and they have this idea of when you're healed, you'll no longer get triggered. Completely inaccurate, completely wrong. You're going to get triggered and you're going to have experiences, because the healing comes from how you react to those things. Have you grown in that area of your life of certain things that might trigger you? You're going to get triggered, and it is totally fine, and it's okay to be triggered because you are a human being. And as long as you're dealing with other humans, you're going to be triggered. So I always say it is not about being triggered and identifying that you were triggered. It is about handling in a way that you will feel proud of. That you will be proud of yourself of the way you handled that situation. And that does not mean, for some of us, it's like, for me, for example, when someone does something to me and when I would get triggered and I wasn't healed in certain areas, especially when I was very codependent and stuff like that, I would lash at them. When I was a people pleaser, I would lash at individuals because it's like, you don't see all I'm doing for you to show you that I love you, and you're taking me for granted. So I would lash, I would be angry, I would be forceful, I would be like, we need to talk about this situation. I would handle things in a certain way because I was very triggered. Now, I take a step back. I think about and I process the way I want to handle situations that will always make me proud of myself. That I will always feel good about myself when I'm done handling that situation. That is a way to know that I'm healed through this certain things somebody might do that would trigger me. So I had to take a step back because I would get very angry and upset and like go in on you. Some people heal by actually taking up for themselves more. People that probably let people walk all over them. People who don't, really speak up for themselves. Their healing can come from the opposite of being like, no, you're not going to, no, putting people in their place. That could be healing. They could be proud of that they did that for themselves. So it just depends on who you are and what you will use to do to handle certain triggers and certain traumas. So then when it comes up again, how are you handling it? That's how you know you are healed. Not because the universe, God, or whatever you believe in are putting you in these situations and testing you. It's the same thing as you being in school and you're learning a lesson. And the teacher, you got to go through chapter 1, chapter 2, and you're learning and you're doing experiments. Like in the science class, you're doing labs and seeing how this stuff can perform. And then now it's time for the test. And when you do your best, all you can do is be proud of yourself, right? To show that I've learned something, to show that I have the answer to this. You're not going to have the answer to everything on the test at all times, but the practice is what's going to help you pass that test, if that makes sense. So just allowing yourself to take these experiences, understanding that you are triggered, but asking yourself, how do I handle this in a way I will be proud of me? That is a clear sign that you are healed from certain situations. So I hope that makes sense. It's not that the situation is happening, you're being triggered. It's how you are handling the situations. It's showing if you're healed from, the trauma you might experience. Another thing is, I really started to understand, obviously, that life is always is a journey of never ending healing. And that's something we have to accept. So I feel like with the 2 basic things that I put out there, being happy that people see that you've never been through trauma. You'll have your chance to talk about what you've been through and how you overcame it, but it does not have to be your identity anymore. You deserve to walk around looking like you have created a life of luxury for yourself. Especially if you've been through a lot of things, you better be walking around like you've created a life of luxury for yourself and thriving in that. You deserve that. I always tell myself now, and this is why I stand firm on doing what I want to do and doing what makes me happy. And if I feel some type of inconvenience, you can get out of my face with it, because I live so much of my life being inconvenienced, being never thought of, being abandoned, pushed to the side, angry. I'm not doing that now. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm living a life that makes me genuinely happy. I put myself first, because I lived that life of trauma and not being able to experience the beauty of life already. I'm not doing that now. So yes, I walk around like a feminine princess, a feminine woman, like I deserve to be. I had to be masculine for so long. I had to protect myself for so long. I'm not doing that anymore now. If you're inconveniencing me, you can get out of my way. I've done that already as a child, as a preteen, as a teenager, as a younger, in my 20s. I did all of that already. I don't like the way that feels. I don't like the way that looks for me. I don't want that. So if you believe that I have not been through anything, great, because I mean I've done the work. I no longer need to scream out my trauma to get what I want. I just naturally go out there and get it. That's who I am now. You understand? And be honest with yourself. Healing is being okay with being honest with yourself about anything and everything in your life. You don't have to spread it to anyone else. Be honest with anyone else. Be honest with yourself about how you feel about things and what you really want out of things. And allow yourself to achieve that and achieve those goals of healing. It's a never-ending journey. So that is the tips I have as far as knowing and recognizing if you're healed in certain areas and if you are doing your healing work. So this is a never-ending journey for me, and it will be a never-ending journey for you. But I wish you so much love, success, and beauty on that road to truly understanding and connecting with that healing energy. You got this. If I can do it, you definitely can do it. Because your girl used to be a hot mess, okay? But we living a life of, you ain't inconveniencing me no more. I'm getting what I want now. If you don't think I've been through anything, that means I'm doing the work. And that's it, that's all. So I thank you for coming to my video and taking time with me today. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.